Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. It's the Eradicator, and hold on tight guys, because we are going to be in for a long time.
That way, we can have you covered if anything goes wrong.
As you can hear, it is the Xenothreat event, as we are playing here Star Citizen of a 3.14 PTU over the weekend, and it's going to be a great opportunity to see what changed, what are the same elements, or what didn't change, what's basically the same from the previous playtest that we had in 3.13, and I think it was in the PTU before, and that we are having right now. And what were some of the modifications? Does it work better? That was also one of the big issues that people had with 3.13, and especially the Xenothreat event that was there during that patch, is that it didn't work so well. The frames per second were pretty low, and we are going to see if there is any change to that. So what I did first, what I always suggest you to do, is just get a pad at MIC L1, which is the rest stop at MIC L1. It's going to allow you to respawn there in case anything goes wrong, and I'm flying a Cutlass Black here.
Been out pulverizing Xenothreat and needs to restock. Unfortunately, Xenothreat's been intercepting our supply ships, so we'll need to get you out there and salvage whatever supplies you can.
Oh, they say Xenothreat. Interesting. The X becomes a C. Anyway, as you can see here, I'm flying a Cutlass Black today. I have reasons for flying a Cutlass Black. It has 295 bullets here in its Gatling guns, as well as a very impressive weapon capacity here of 128 shots for the laser repeaters, which are going to allow you to fire continuously for a prolonged period of time.
See if your scans pick up any debris or Xenothreat still in the area. If you do find a wreck, be sure to grab any supply crates that is still in one piece.
So one of the things that has changed already is all of that voiceovers, those voice messages that were not necessarily there. At least I don't remember having heard them in the previous iteration of Xenothreat. So that's already adding quite a lot to immersion as well. We're having here a couple of contacts. This is a Vanguard Ward, and again, I can't remember any opponents using such heavy ships here, but that's definitely going to add a little bit of difficulty. Well, oh, maybe not so much here, and I'm even getting paid for the kill. That is very nice indeed. Well, the Cutlass Black made very short work of the Vanguard. A slow ship, very tanky, but as you could see here, with 128 shots with the repeaters, I was able to fire quite a lot. Looks like this is a player here in a Vanguard 2. I'm just flying a Cutlass. I don't want to look like I'm a coward, but it may not be the best strategy here to be taking down that player, especially since there are other things to do. Now, here's another thing that has completely changed compared to how it was before, is just how this Lagrange point looks like. Because, of course, Star Citizen of 3.14 is bringing out volumetric clouds, not just on the planet Crusader itself, but also at Lagrange point. And you can see that the volumetric clouds make, let's just say, everything far more dramatic than what they are, than what they were before. But, whoa, 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 whoa! Boom! So you see guys, this is exactly why you have to make sure to respawn at MIC L1, because things like that can happen. So here's what happened. The frames per second were so low I was not able to avoid that C2 Hercules, and unfortunately my ship crashed. So that's one thing here that's pretty much the same as in previous playtests from previous patches. The frames per second are still extremely low at some times, and it's just very bothersome, to say the least. So another thing that hasn't changed here is that you have to bring in those supplies here into some cargo ship. This is not my, that's actually an M2 Hercules. This is not my M2, it is somebody else's here. I came in with a Gladiator, but something that's really annoying here is like when you go into EVA, your character is just rolling all over the place, and it just doesn't feel very great. I felt very dizzy very quickly, actually, playing this EVA operation mode here. Same here as I'm advancing here towards the wreck, and some of the other players here have put all the crates just at the entrance, which makes it very practical. But because of the low frames per second, I have also noticed that yeah, I tend to get dizzy and feel kind of nauseous pretty quickly here, which is not ideal. So hopefully when we are going to get better frames per second as server technology improves and the games get more and more optimized, and hopefully these negative effects are going to vanish. But as of right now, it is not the case, and I didn't feel very comfortable. So quite frankly, I just dropped a few boxes like those, and that was pretty much it. After that, I went back into my ship to see if I could be maybe a little bit more useful inside the ship that I chose. And you're going to see the ship here. It is an Anvil Gladiator, if I can see it back again. Oh my goodness. What a mess. Here it is. Look at that cutlass here, which is looking quite great here. So yeah, I'm flying a Gladiator, and you're going to see why I think that this ship is very suitable for the Xenothreat event.
Xenothreat came out of QT at Jericho. Weapons free, y'all.
Alright, so another thing that's pretty much the same here. An Idris randomly attacking Jericho station, and that is why I chose this Gladiator. It is a small pocket bomber with a turret that is unfortunately not manned. I didn't find anyone on time to man the turret, but still, 2 size 3 laser repeaters at my disposal here with a capacitor of 84 shots, which is pretty decent, but for a ship of its size, it has quite a lot of very good ammo, including a handful pair of very useful missiles, and especially some torpedoes. Now, these are not the best torpedoes, obviously, right? We're only talking about size 5 torpedoes, but nevertheless, if there are quite a few people flying Gladiators at the same time, then we can do quite a lot of damage. Gladiators or other bombers, of course, right? Of course, if I'm just alone, fly my bomber alone here with size 5 torpedoes, I'm not going to do a lot of damage against an Idris, but if we have a squadron of Gladiators at the same time, then yes, it will. And you are going to see that the Gladiator is also quite capable in dogfighting here, as you can see. Boom! Of course, I did not do that on my own. Hey, I'm still getting 2,000 of UEC here for the kill. So maybe the kill was counted for me here. So we're going to fight that Cutlass Black here. Where is it? Well, looks like it is already gone. Something that I really enjoy is having all of those other players around here flying around. Now, obviously, you can see that it definitely has a toll on performance, which is to be expected. Does it play better? I think that the frames are a little bit better than what I can remember, even though they still don't look that great. But I also believe that the volumetric clouds around are also having a toll on the performance too. I think that the game would have run better without those volumetric clouds at the Lagrange points. So maybe placing the Xenothreat event at that particular area was not the best solution from a performance point of view. Now, sure, maybe the point of CIG here is to have the Xenothreat at this particular area with the Lagrange point clouds is to maybe stress the servers and stress our clients to see what would be the possible limits of such events. That is also a possibility. Let's remember that in the end, right, was still in alpha stage, and the idea of being in alpha stage is to have, of course, as much data as possible for the devs to then be able to adjust the future of the development of the project. So that would make sense. But from a gameplay perspective and from a player's perspective, it is not very ideal for sure. So what am I doing now? Well, I'm trying to keep my distances. You can see that this is the missile operator mode.
Forces are looking severely depleted. Barely half of them left. Nice work.
Always listening to what she says, obviously. So what we're looking at here is the missile operator mode, which you get access to by clicking on the center mouse button, if you have a center mouse button, obviously, right? And so once you are at a required distance, you don't be too close, but don't be too far at the same time. Once you are at the right distance, then you have to wait until you have a lock on your enemy, which is when you have that green circle that you were able to see previously. And when it is the case, you fire your missile with the left button of your mouse, the right button of your mouse being the button that is going to let you select which type of warhead you are going to use. And if you are using a bomber like this one, you're going to have several types of warheads, including missiles and torpedoes at the same time. Now,
Looks like we're 3/4 of the way there on our supply drops. Just a handful of Xenofighters remaining.
So what I'm doing basically is I'm firing everything. I don't really care right now. I'm not really being strategic here. I'm just shooting at everything I have with that Idris, and hopefully it's going to make damage. Look at that, that's crazy. Someone is fighting the Idris with an 890 jump. I hope that they have enough people in the turrets. A couple of... sometimes something that I appreciate as well is that those fighters keep on popping. You know, it's not just like one wave of fighter that's coming in and then they are depleted and it's just the Idris. They keep on coming eventually, so bombers will have to focus, of course, on the Idris, but if there are fighters around, well, their job would be to protect the bombers who will be doing most of the work taking down the Idris. So I like that very much too. And of course, if you are having a multi-role bomber like a Gladiator, you can do both, right? But if you have a Retaliator, obviously you're not going to go into dogfighting. Still at the right place here.
That Idris is charging up its
Jeez,
main
if that 8-edge jump could stand out of the way, that could be great.
before hitting the Idris.
Still have a couple of other ships here. A Valkyrie. Those Valkyries are pretty tough because they have a lot of hit points and several turrets that are pretty dangerous, including ballistic ones. So those can do quite a lot of damage to your ship if you get hurt. But luckily, as I have a bomber here, I'm also a little bit tankier than a ship like an Arrow, for example. So that's why I can take the risk of trying to take down that Valkyrie. There we go. Very nice. Okay, what else do we have around? Looks like we still have a couple of buggies, a couple of... look at that 819 jump, is just insane. Looks like this is an Arrow, maybe? Yeah, it is an Arrow indeed. Look at that, well, that's a perfect shot. Yes, 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 I like this. Will I be able to destroy? Looks like I'm not the only one on that Arrow. It is gone indeed. Now, something that I noticed is that sometimes the effect of the explosions are not happening. You can hear the explosions, but you can't see the effect. And I really wonder why that is. It could be for several reasons. It could be because the servers are bad, which is not a new thing.
Main gun is charging up.
Or it could be perhaps because the volumetric clouds somehow tend to be hiding those effects, and those effects are, you know, behind the gas that we're looking at. But that wouldn't make any sense because we should be able to see them as well, right? Anyway, looks like they also have a Mantis as well to be fighting. Now, this is not every day that you get to fight a Mantis, and especially an NPC Mantis. So I also like the diversity of opponents that we get to fight here in this particular phase. You can see that I'm not firing all the time. I'm only trying to fire here when I have a good shot. You can see there's a little bit of desync. We could see the Mantis was teleporting here from time to time. Oh, no, 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 no. Well, at least that Mantis, we can see that the Mantis is quite fragile. I can't believe that I rammed that Mantis in. I survived the encounter. I suppose that's probably because the shields were down and I still have my shields, so maybe that's why that Mantis was able to survive. Okay, looks like the Xenothreats here, the Xenothreat ships have gone. So it is going to be time to go back to Mikhail 1, and you are going to see why we are going back to Mikhail 1. We are going back to Mikhail 1 to repair and restock. Now, in the patch notes, it was said that this is not working all the time. So we are going to see here if the nose of my ship and the turrets are fixed, and it looks like they are. So yes, at least in this particular case, repairing has worked, so that is very good to see. Also, if you have a ship with turrets like this, don't hesitate to invite other people to join you. You always have people who are more than happy to man guns for you. Usually, sometimes new people, sometimes people who want to try something new, right? So always use the chat to see if there are any people available to help you out. Now, in this case, unfortunately, I was not able to play with the people who wanted to be joining me because they were a little bit too far and it took too long to join me, so that's why I had to leave, right? Because the third phase here, so the second phase was finished and eventually the third phase did appear. So second phase is when the supplies need to be sent to Jericho station. We sent all the supplies. The third phase is when the Javelin is actually leaving Jericho in order to be attacking the Xenothreat's capital ships. And for some reasons, I did notice that you have to go to the Moby-Glass again in order to select the mission again. So I don't know if this is a bug or an actual new feature, but that's also something to keep in mind in case you don't see the Xenothreat events happening on the top of your UI. Alright, one more thing that I want to see here is the reputation system. Yes, the Civilian Defense Force is there, and there are rewards too. CDF on the suit. Apparently, if I'm a veteran first responder, I can also get the torso armor. Very nice. Now, post-emergency here, meaning that this will be in the inventory once it is out. I mean, once the Xenothreats are out. So let's keep that in mind. It is not going to be coming in right away. So here we go. Back with the Gladiator here. I am fully repaired, fully loaded. And we will be looking for that Idris that is, well, basically having a face-off against our Javelin, which is now ready for combat. We can see the lasers here, the huge laser cannons of the Javelins. Where is that Idris? I can't see it. I can see the target, but I cannot see the Idris, unfortunately. Looks like it is deep inside the... Oh yeah, that's because the clouds. I was completely hidden here by the haze, which is crazy. And I could see there's the Javelin here. We can see the shadow of the Javelin, or at least the shape of the Javelin, which I don't know what you guys think. And let me know in the comment section down below. This is the giveaway question, by the way. I have not decided what the giveaway is going to be in August yet. There will be a giveaway video coming up really soon. But the giveaway question is the following, guys. Would you have had the Xenothreat showdown here at the end? You know, the Idrises versus the Javelin somewhere else? Or do you think that right here inside this gas cloud around Lagrange Point, MiG L1, is the perfect place for this event? Let me know in the comment section down below. As far as I'm concerned, I am not really that convinced that it is the best place, but, you know, who am I to think I'm just a mere backer, right? Anyway, let's keep it up. Where is that Idris? Yeah, I've lost it. I've lost it. I don't know where it is. Follow the red marker. There we go. I guess that perhaps its signature was down because of the clouds themselves. So let's have a look at here. Launch. Let's fire those missiles and torpedoes as much as possible. Same strategy as at Jericho Station. Look at that. There's a freelancer here. The freelancer miss would be absolutely perfect for... Look at all those missiles here. It is being literally bombarded by missiles. And it looks like some of the shields here are gone. It only has 2 sides out of 4 left with shields, which is why a lot of the hull here seems to be quite damaged. You can see that red color on the hull here in the target screen. So we'll keep on bombarding and we'll keep on working on that Idris. There we go. Looks like it is gone. But again, unfortunately, did you see that there was no explosion? It just left the screen, which I think is a shame. Looks like there's another player here, Magical Lemon, who is red. Well, seems... what do you mean check fire? He's red, so we're definitely going to take him down.
Contact, got hostiles inbound.
So, this was not the end of the event, as we can hear. Contact, hostiles. How many ships are we talking here? Is this the phase where we have 2 enemy capital ships? It could be very well the case. Looks like this guy here, the Retaliator, is making a run for it. So, we're not going to be wasting our time so much. Let's go back to where the action is taking place. It does look like we got another Idris here. Idris which has all of its shields. So we're gonna get a little, 2 Idrises, yep. So we're going to get a little bit closer here, bringing in the missile operator mode and send once again everything we have. Come on, fire, fire. Boom. There it goes. I got 4 ignites now. We're also going to be sending, you know, as I said before, I have a little pocket bomber like the Gladiator. You just need to send everything you've got. Each of your projectiles, each of your warheads could be making a difference. Look at that, we can see the Javelin here in the back as well. It's always impressive to be seeing a Javelin. The shields are still up, unfortunately. But definitely, if we're all sending projectiles like that, it is going to have an effect on those shields. Looks like one of the shields is down. No, not yet. Soon. The back here, the back shields seem to be about to fade away. So that's also something that we're going to have to be looking for as the players around keep targeting those ships. Looks like we have also a couple of enemy fighters here. A Gladius. Gonna have, well, that Gladius got eradicated by somebody else. Whoa! Seems like those Xenothreat ships here are popping out of everywhere. That's great to see. At least as we are a little bit closer, it does seem like the explosions are working. Yes, the shields in the back are gone, so that's where we're going to have to work on here on this ship. Try to hit the back of that Idris so that we can do as much damage as possible. Of course, I need to be mobile, especially here if I'm in range of those turrets here. Those turrets, especially I'm in a small ship. Those turrets are going to be making very short work of me if they decide that I am a threat and that they're going to target me. It looks like there's a Hurricane here working on the back of that Idris. I will also try to position myself just like this Hurricane. Oh, a little bit too fast. Oh no. Well, I guess it will be an opportunity to make another run. Yeah, the front still has a lot of its shields here. Shields are about 50% left here in the front. It's okay, I'll try to position myself just like that Hurricane and hit it from the back. Need to be on the lookout for enemy fighters too, because those enemy fighters, especially if we stay immobile behind, we are going to be very easy target for enemy fighters. I could see that there's an enemy Saber on the side. Luckily we got player Cutlass that's also trying to take down the enemy ships for us, which is going to keep us safe here. After all, as look at that, yes! Some of the explosions here happening in the back of that Idris. It has no shields in the back. Just waiting for my capacitors to have enough energy so that I can have another salvo here of energy beams here against that Idris. You could hear. Oh no, no, no. Sorry. Now that is an improvement compared to how the Xenothreat even was in the past. In the past there was almost little to no tolerance for friendly fire. Luckily here, as unfortunately I hit that friendly Hurricane in the back, I was able to get out of it without any final warning. Look at this beautiful shot here, exterior shot, with all of the player ships here trying to take down that Idris. Now, why is that Javelin shooting at me? It looks like the Javelin is not shooting at the Idris, but is trying to shoot me, which is a little bit scary here. I gotta say that I don't feel very comfortable staying here, but at least if we get blown up by the Javelin, then we'll have a nice little view. Now, here's something that I am not really happy with, is that this Idris is just sitting there. Now, this is one of the things in the Xenothreat post-mortem post that we saw a couple of months ago, that the devs said that they would like this specific thing that we're seeing here on the screen to not happen. They're not happy with the fact that the Idrises end up like giant piñatas, which are basically so easy for players to shoot at. And unfortunately, it does seem like here in the PTU of Alpha 3.14, it is again something that is happening. As you can see that there's quite a handful of player fighters here that are just sitting in the back of that Idris, constantly shooting at the ship and doing some severe damage. As the ship, as you can see here, it has no shields, it has lots of explosions and sparkles everywhere. You can definitely see that this Idris is in trouble and is about to blow. Oh, it's moving. Now that is very interesting. Why was it stationary for such a long time? And why has it decided to move all of a sudden? Was it because of a server issue? Or could it be also because I saw that some players were using EMPs as well, you know, those electromagnetic pulse? Was it possible that the EMPs do have an effect on the Idris? That's if you have any idea here, if this is something that you know of. Have you ever tried a ship with an EMP? Have you ever tried an EMP on an Idris? Has it had any effect? Also, if you have done that, please let me know in the comment section below as well. Because I don't always reply to all the comments, but rest assured that I do read them, and I really appreciate your feedback and your intake when you guys are, you know, just commenting and giving your opinion and sharing your expertise. Oh, boom! Now that was an explosion. I think that it lost an engine. Yep. We definitely took an engine out. I was totally not hitting that ship. That's okay. These are the joys of flying in third-person view. It's like when you're flying here, it's like half of your view here is being blocked by the struts and the UI and the cockpit, basically. So in third-person view is not as immersive as being in the cockpit, of course. But if you're looking for beautiful views, then it certainly is something great. Look at that, 56,000. Alpha UEC. I don't know why I was given 56,000 Alpha UEC, but I'm definitely taking that money. Especially given the fact that, you know, reloading your ship and repairing your ship does cost a little bit of money as well. Every time you're out there, you know, you have to pay 3,000, 4,000 Alpha UEC in warheads. So that can definitely that can definitely pay this out. I am not fighting for free, and all of those people around here are not fighting for free either. Unfortunately, it does look like this Idris is once again stationary, so we're all going to position ourselves pretty much ever at this point. It has no shields. The shields were down in the back. The shields now are down everywhere else. Looks like there's a Gladius here as well. Idris down. Well, the Idris is down. Yeah, it's totally gone. And there was... Oh no, it's still here. So I guess it was the other Idris that is down. Maybe this is the last Idris. We'll see. Yeah. They must have taken down the other Idris, because there were two Idrises. I only focused on one. So this is probably it. And I still have the Gladius here as one of my... as my dedicated target. Where is that little Gladius here? God, it is so hard. There we go, boom. It is really hard to hit anything here. I'm having like 5 frames per second at this point. Because everybody is here. It's like the entire server is here trying to take down this Idris. There's a javelin at the same time. It has a tremendous impact. Oh, and it just disappeared. It just disappeared. This is ridiculous. Well, let's take down some of the remaining fighters here. Obviously, boom. And that's basically it. So there we have it. I was paid this time 28,000 Alpha UEC plus all of the different bonuses. Very nice indeed. So what do we do here at the back? So what I suggest, and since you know it's not going to be the only Xenothreat event, there are going to be more incursions throughout the weekend. So you don't want to be traveling from one planet to another, which is why I heavily suggest that if you finish your game and you log out, you should go back to the station here, Mikhail 1. And at the same time, if you like your ship, if you think that the ship you used is the most effective, then it is a good idea to also repair your ship. So for that, well, let's just press F1 here, and we're gonna see first let's have a look at the Civilian Defense Force here post-emergency. Looks like my reputation has improved a little bit, but I'm still a first responder, and this hasn't changed so much. Was I given the armor? And it looks like I was not given the armor, but it's also possible that they will give me the armor after Phase 4. It's not just Phase 2 and Phase 3. Phase 1 is when they announce that the Xenothreat is about to start. Phase 2 is when we have to bring in the supplies. Phase 3 is what you just saw here with the big fight. And Phase 4 is like, oh, congratulations, you won. And they basically send messages all over the verse saying that the Xenothreat event has been, the Xenothreat threat has been repelled. So it's entirely possible that the armor will come later. I suppose I will see next time I will log in the game. Anyway, guys, that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this playthrough of the Xenothreat event, as it is going to be in Star Citizen 3.14. Remember that it's still the PTU, so it's possible that there are going to be some changes and tweaks, but I do believe that the kind of experience that you get so here today on the channel is going to be quite similar to what will be available in the PU. Also, a big shout out to Tala, Dr. Forbin, and Ericon for sponsoring this channel on Patreon. You guys are absolutely awesome. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys tomorrow for more content on the channel. This is the Eradicator. I'll see you guys later. This video is brought to you by the people who support this channel on Patreon and via the join button as well. Supporters of the channel get access to lots of cool perks, such as access to my private Discord, your question answered in the show, you get to know when I'm going to play, and also you get to have a chance to influence the editorial line of the channel. Any help is appreciated, starts at just $1 a month. Thank you very much for watching. This is the Eradicator, and I'll see you guys later.